one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Brace for impact.
And we're live. Brought to you by It's Time.
No, I'm kidding. Break Room Blitz coming back at you.
What's up, guys? I'm your boy D'Anthony, and my boy Adon, and my boy C-Jack.
God done messed up my name again. I'm gonna kick you in the face.
Because you're looking crazy. I didn't know what was happening right
I
now.
won't look crazy while I do this interview.
We're Break Room Blitz, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having us. Go ahead and sit back, relax, hit that notification and that like button right now before we even start. You done? All right.
All right, here we go.
And just enjoy the ride. We're going to have some fun,
Cheers.
some jokes, some craziness.
Cheers. Clink, clink.
I never got no cup to do.
Clink, clink.
There you go.
There
My hand's about as big as a damn glass, so it worked.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Wow.
So went to go see this awesome movie you guys might have not heard of, actually.
Pretty low key.
Yeah.
So
So we said we're gonna do some B-list movies for you guys, and that's what we want to do.
right.
So here we
It's
are.
more like an A-list movie compared to the crap we've been watching.
right, outside of the mainstream big marketed movies, we're bringing to you what you should probably be going to see.
Right, but technically it would be a B.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But in actuality, it's definitely an A in my book. We went to go see The Glass Castle, guys. So you guys probably like, what the hell is that? If you're not watching this live, I will put the link to the trailer. You go ahead and watch it, and I think you're gonna want to definitely go ahead and go see it sometime this week or next weekend or whatever, or this weekend because we're live here. We're not gonna wait to edit this, so it's just gonna be on
Yeah.
on YouTube today.
Change your movie plans.
Oh, right. So we got Brie Larson, which is supposed to be Captain
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Marvel.
And you know what? I was like, you know what? She better do something that's gonna give me a glimpse of what she's gonna be like. Because if she's gonna sell it, she's gonna need to really do better than these other
That's
female
right.
actresses trying to be superheroes.
Yes.
And I'm convinced. I will say she did sell me on
Yes.
this movie.
Got him.
We got Woody Harrelson, which I think this is the role that he should be in. I don't want to see him as any more generals or no badasses.
Planet of the
anymore.
Apes didn't do it.
Just sit down. and
Sit
be
your old ass down and be funny, okay? All right, there we go.
Right. You know, be someone's old ass dad, not the general of an army. Okay.
Right.
Because it doesn't work for you.
Oh, he played this role so well.
He did. Naomi Watts.
Mhm.
I don't know where she's from, but Max Greenfield from The New Girl, and I do love that show, The New Girl. What? What was it?
It's just. That's the theme song.
Oh, it's Jess?
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
you said Jess.
Jess.
It's Jess.
It's just.
I'm like, what?
They know what I mean. This guy.
Right. And I thought he did a really good job. To me, I guess he plays himself
Yeah.
because he's been the same in everything I've seen him in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, his character hasn't really changed in diversity.
But you know what? I like his personality, so I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
It
If that's who
works.
he is, I like it on screen, so
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
We got some other actresses here. I don't know if you guys want to shout out anyone, but I don't really know who they are. But those are the main ones everyone's gonna probably know,
Right.
recognize when you actually go see this movie.
Absolutely.
It is. Thing.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean someone? We got someone
Oh, we
watching
got
us.
One viewer.
One viewer. Is that what that meant?
He
What's
left.
up, dog? What's up? Oh, he left because he can't hear us. Oh, I ain't got the fan on this time, so I don't know.
All right, let's keep it on.
Well, anyway,
For the rest of you.
So pretty much this is about a struggling man that has kids that he tries to raise off the grid, and he's pretty much proud of that. This is not something that's an accident. This is by choice. He thinks that living within the system is the wrong way of living,
That's right.
and his kids kind of suffer because of that, and they grow up and they kind of resent him a little bit, and it's just
Right.
about that family dynamic, kind of coming full circle. Like I hated growing up, or actually I love growing up, but now I'm hungry, so I hate it,
Yeah.
and now I resent him as an adult.
Right. Yeah,
But
there's a lot of resentment.
ultimately, I love him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a drama. I feel like it's gonna have you tear jerking a little bit. At least I was anyway.
I was. I'm not even gonna lie. It's
Yeah.
pulling at my heartstrings, man. I'm like,
I did the
ooh.
whole thing a couple times where I was like, oh, I'm yawning. It's just so hot. It's so hot in this thing. I keep yawning right now.
Right. So it is something that you're gonna need to be prepared for.
Yes.
But there's comedy.
There is
Oh, yeah,
comedy. There's
definitely.
comedic relief.
Definitely.
Perfect timing this movie did with
Perfect timing.
with the drama that unfolds between the family dynamic of the struggling family, and you're kind of rooting for them, and it's like, you know what, he is teaching these kids life lessons on how to survive and how to live off the grid, really.
Right. It might be a little rugged.
Yeah.
It might be a little hard to watch.
Yeah.
I don't think it was always about
But-
living off the grid. I think it was just about how life's going to be.
Yeah.
They didn't have electricity.
Conforming.
Yeah. A lot.
Well, no, yeah, I understand
Right.
that. But I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things. Is I remember when the power went out once in one of the buildings I was at, and we were like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And then we lit candles. We brought out a board game, and we had the time of our lives for like 3 hours. And when the electricity came back on, we just turned the lights back off. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's some things that happen good without electricity.
First world problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I need to do homework, Dad.
I got you a
This
pencil.
candle keeps flickering. I can't concentrate. I can't see the words.
Right.
No, but there definitely was some good lessons to be learned. They were just hard to stomach, I think, at the time.
Mhm.
But I thought it was great. So it's a true story. Were you guys believing this? Does it seem believable,
Oh yeah.
or like
Yeah.
bullshit?
No, it did seem believable. You know, the more we got into the characters and stuff, you kind of see, you know, who this story was written by. So, I mean, you got each one of these kids and the main daughter, middle child, really. You know, she's usually the forgotten one, but she was really the center of the family almost, and brought the rest of the siblings together.
Which was cool.
Yeah, and I can see that she really had a lot of the father, his cleverness, you know, and
Right.
maybe the wits about her with that, and she was very strong, especially growing up in that.
Well, he paid
situation.
attention to her more than anybody else. so I
Absolutely.
would imagine she would, get more of his traits.
Yeah, so learning that she was actual writer, you know, like halfway into the story or something like that, it made sense. Okay, she's the one that wrote this book about this movie, basically.
What did you think? Was it believable?
Oh, it's definitely believable. As far as it's almost like technically a parallel for a documentary almost.
You know what? What you think about the movie? Go ahead and tell us what you thought, and then rate it. Let's just go. We forgot about
Oh,
that.
right into the rating.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
All right. So overall, the movie was great. I just heartfelt. Woody Harrelson. The performances were just amazing.
So good.
And doing the 5-star rating on this one.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna give it a 5.
Woo!
I'm giving it 5 stars because I just enjoyed it. It was a really good flick. It tugged the heartstrings. Woody Harrelson played a very good, almost. He was a hero to villain to himself, but there was so much other to it. So,
That's a good point.
So-
he hit it. He hit it.
yeah, and
Oh,
it's
man.
just yeah.
This movie, it was exactly what I needed. You know, like watching a good movie as good as this was, I appreciated every single acting, the drama, you know, the family dynamic, having a new story on screen for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. It was exactly what I wanted. I want to see this movie again,
Yeah.
but with my family.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it had me thinking about my own family. You
I'm
know,
already thinking about people that I want to watch it with. Like I'm just
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, we need
it's
to
like,
watch.
you
this.
need to watch this. You need to watch it. We'll all watch it together.
Fives. God, I hate
5 out of the
The-
gate. Shooting.
Oh man.
2
well,
out of 3.
I don't think it's gonna be a perfect score here.
Oh, why am I not surprised?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. You know, I thought it was pleasantly surprised. I was a little skeptical. I was like, man, there's no big budget movies coming out. Okay, I guess we'll go see this.
Right.
For the fans.
For the
For
fans.
you.
For the millions in attendance.
For the millions.
What stadium are you in? No,
Stadium of YouTube.
Right. But I thought it was very clever. It wasn't something I was able to predict. It is original. I definitely
Yeah.
appreciated that. It wasn't something that, I was just like, oh God, this dialogue just sucks. I felt like the dialogue, the way it was written, I don't know if this is all true or if they, wrote some stuff in there just for movie purposes,
Right.
but I was able to relate. I was able to understand the story. I wasn't just like, even though there was like flashbacks, I wasn't just like, what is this? What are we what are we in right now? It wasn't like that. It was like,
Right.
damn, okay, so that's
Like
what happened
past
back
and
in
present,
the day.
past and present.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it was great. I thought that the kids did a wonderful job.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
where are they getting these kids from?
And cry now.
Right.
Do it. Tears.
You can't get kids to even sit down when you ask.
Right.
They're crying when they're asked. I'm like, wow, that's
Just one tear.
Craziness.
That's all we need.
I love the cinematography was good. They had a lot of good cinematography shots. You know, like those wide angle landscape shots. Like they didn't need to.
I love that when they're just driving at the beginning
Right.
and then we get that long shot.
And they didn't need to do that.
Oh, it was
Because
so
this is a
good.
lower budget movie. They don't need to do stuff like that, but they did.
It was artistic.
right. But
Stars. Let me see them.
I think I'm gonna give it. We're gonna do points. 4.8.
Woo!
Okay.
4.8. There were some things that I kind of.
Where are we missing that point to? What's that about?
You know, the little girl. You know, like I was telling you in the car that you know when she says you should leave him, telling her dad or
No.
telling her mom that she should leave her dad. I feel like at 10 years old, you're not saying things like that. But I thought that everything else was great. I guess I could give it a 5. I just don't want to.
You're just nitpicking. It's a nitpick.
Fine as a 5.
One thing.
It was a 5 out of 5. I am just nitpicking.
Yeah.
Because I laughed. I almost
Right.
cried, but I'm a man, so I don't cry.
Yeah.
But I almost cried. Almost cried.
In there.
And you know what? I was.
Get back in there, Tia.
Bring it back.
I think I saw him at one point next to me, just going.
I mean, he looked over at me and I think checking to see if we were sleeping or something.
Yeah.
And I looked over at Derek, and then he's just like, and I was like, oh, he's not sleeping. He's just into this.
I
right
think
now.
at one point we saw him go like this.
It was a tearjerker, I will admit.
It really was.
Because I was able to relate. Having daddy issues, I was able to relate. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. What did you guys think about like the life lessons? Is it something that you could
Oh, man.
understand, or is it like, oh, that's a little bit over the top? Because
Mhm.
this guy is a sink or swim, literally
Absolutely.
type
yeah.
of guy, and when I say that, maybe you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Throw your ass in the pool, and either you sink
Right.
or you swim.
Yeah.
What you
Yeah.
gonna do? Live or die?
Right.
You know, I thought that it was a little bit over the top. It's not a good way to teach,
Right.
but I don't think that he hurt them either.
And
What
he-
were you guys thinking about?
Yeah,
that?
he did mention that, you know, kind of the sink or swim kind of, I don't ever want you to get hurt, you know, and then also just like he really stuck to his morals, you know, his integrity was kind of intact for the most part. It's just that, you know, he was also a flawed, and you brought up that hero to villain complex, but as far as like the life lessons, you know, and to me, watching a movie, what's the moral of the story, you know? And the moral of the story, there's so many things to take into account. It's just
Yeah.
to stick to who you are. You know, is this you? Is this really you? You know, it follows a daughter, and she's gonna get married to this man, and he's just like, I don't see this being you, you know? And so,
I
just
mean,
be who you are.
What did you think about those lessons?
You know, it's hard for me to compare. I didn't grow up with that too much in my life, so sometimes when I watch movies and I find these father figures, I kind of look at like, would I have liked that person as a father? And there were a lot of things that this particular dad did that I definitely appreciated. The sink or swim thing, actually, I find it. I appreciated it. It was intense,
Yeah,
but I
it was
feel like it was needed. The only reason why is because, especially with coming up children, especially like, you know, little girls, they're babied a lot, and so to me, it was one of those instances that was a metaphor for the relationships you should have in your life. You're gonna drown because this world is like that, but those people that actually give a crap about you will not let you completely like fade out into the darkness, and that's kind of what he did. He put her in a position where she had to make a choice. Let her sink down to the bottom. She panicked, but he brought her up last minute, and it was just that repetition. But at the end, she made a decision, came up, and he helped her back up at that point too. So it was just like, to me, that was just that was a metaphor of even the relationships that I keep in my life. Is none of my friends would ever they would let me fall because you needed to, but they'd be there to back me up to make sure I didn't hit rock bottom. But I also have to make the decision to get my ass up too.
That's like me and you.
So
we go at it.
Oh, yeah, we go at it all the
I
time.
felt that.
But I got
felt
you.
that coming. Like, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You might not know, but I got you.
Yeah. And I mean, it was
Yeah.
pretty intense. I mean, it didn't help that he had a drinking problem for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what I got of it? As far as a life lesson, it doesn't matter what Jane Doe and Billy Bob and Sally Sue are doing across the street.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, they're in a nice cozy home. Yep, they got food. Yep, they got lights. But you know what? Maybe they don't got as much love as we have over here.
That's
Exactly.
right. Yeah.
You know, like you need to really respect, honor, cherish where you came from. You know, it might have been rough, might have been, you know, not the ideal situation that you would like, but we loved you. You
Yeah.
can't say that I didn't teach you anything.
Strong roots.
Can't
you
say
know?
I didn't support you.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, so maybe I was a little selfish at times, didn't want you to leave,
Mhm.
but without me, you wouldn't be the person you are now.
Mhm.
You know, and sometimes that's hard to stomach, especially when you're in the box.
Right.
It's easy to look, you know, in the box at the situation and be like, you need to honor your father.
Mhm.
But
Right.
but you know, they did come full circle, you know, to where they were able to do that. But sometimes it is hard to really appreciate your upbringing, because it's like, to you, it's the worst thing ever.
Right.
You know, but outside, someone's like, man, you tripping. You got a dad that's actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drank.
Yeah.
He don't want an alcoholic dad, but he never hit none of the kids.
He didn't. No.
Didn't hit the mama.
No.
They got to scuffles.
They got
she ended
into
up
some-
outside the window.
Some scuffles, but
She might have jumped.
we don't
like
know.
he said.
She is crazy too.
Yeah, she was. Well, she had to be crazy to be with him. Like, I mean, they had to be
Oh,
crazy
man.
to be with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the life lessons were great.
Yes.
Would you say he was a good father, even though he was alcoholic and he didn't come through with promises and things like that?
You know what? Like him being the man that he was made his kids even stronger, because they were able to take the positive from him. So they pretty much were comprised of both the mother and the father, and then they said, I don't ever want my kids to grow up. So not only am I gonna love them like my dad and mom did me, but I'm gonna also give them the opportunities that I didn't have.
Yeah.
And that's what I always see that my parents do for me, and what I plan on doing for mine, you know? So it's just like every generation needs to get better and better. We want to progress. Kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Would you say he was a good dad?
Yeah. No. See, I actually think he was a really good father. To me, if your parents aren't flawed, then that's just a lie. That's just a lie straight to your
what
face.
are you going to learn from
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
perfect. That's not a lie, okay?
But I think one of the biggest things is, you know, we learn from our parents, but we also don't like things about our parents, and those things we don't like, we try to defer from those things. And I think that's what's the brilliant part of evolution of just, you know, having kids is they will grow up and see where we have failed, because we did fail, and they will succeed in maybe, you know, 5 things out of the 15 things that we didn't. And so
Right.
that's the point, is to at least succeed and have them make those decisions. So these kids obviously did that. His kids grew up to be wonderful people.
They were successful too.
They were all successful, and they were all
Wow.
still loving, and they all still cared about family, because
Three
that
of
was
them
their
were.
foundation.
Well, in the working. They
Three
were.
of them.
They were in the working, yeah.
Yeah.
But to pursue your dreams is one of the biggest things that he
Yeah.
wanted to, you know, put in his kid's mind. Like, are you doing what you like to do right now?
What
you
you
know,
love. You know, are you being you? That's the biggest thing. Is
Yeah.
are you being who you are?
right?
Are you being
Conforming.
What, yeah. Are you, and,
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about this is coming up in that raw, you know, naturist mentality.
Yeah.
And understanding the difference between this and that really kind of brings perspective as far as, you know, what you've
Like what
earned.
freedom is, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, are you free? Are you free
Yeah.
living in the city, you know, working and all that stuff?
You know what? That's a good point, because I would call myself a city boy,
Oh,
city slicker.
slicker.
You know, because I didn't grow up knowing how to do shit.
Mhm.
Like, I couldn't barbecue growing up. I couldn't build anything. I couldn't fix anything. I didn't learn how to fix anything until I was an adult. I guess 18, go to college. And what I learned to fix was something bougie, computers. I can't fix a
Yeah.
car.
Right.
Like, I fix computers.
Yeah.
You know, so I was able to kind of like, damn, that's jacked up. Damn, they're not going to school.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But you know what? School's not everything.
Yeah, not to
You know.
mention they did learn a lot. I mean, she became a journalist because of everything she read. She learned how to read and write from that.
Reading is so important.
Yeah, and I wish I actually had more. Like, I didn't read a lot when I was younger, but I was very creative and I did a lot of things that were just weird to most people. But
still today.
Yeah, still today. It's still going. Still going. But you know, like
quirks.
in comparison to you, City Slicker, I actually am more adept to nature. Like I always refer that I wake up in my box, I drive in my box with a bunch of other boxes, and get to a bigger box to sit in this small little box, and that's
so
my
sad.
that's my day to day, and I hate it.
He's not lying. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's hiking with bears.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah! I like it. I love nature. I love the woods. That's where I feel most in my place. This is just what I have to do to conform.
To have the lights on and the
To
gas.
put the lights on.
So
Yeah.
you're not like them.
Because you have priorities.
But if the government
That's
wouldn't
right.
bother me and let me play Xbox still and just live up in the woods, I would.
All right, guys. Well, that's our review. Coming up to what, 20 minutes. We don't want to keep you
That's
guys
not too bad.
forever.
Go watch the trailer. You know, figure out if you want to watch the movie. We highly recommend it.
Yeah,
We're giving
we
it a
highly
perfect
recommend it.
movie.
This is definitely.
If there's a
one to
movie you
watch.
watch,
5 out of 5,
you know,
baby.
out of all these movies this month at least, make this one it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Right, and if you're watching this after the theatrical, I guess, I don't know, when it's in the theaters,
Mhm.
then if it's on Netflix, watch it. If it's in the red box, get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Yeah, I
it's
would
on-
say download it, but that's illegal. But you know,
If you find it
we're
on
all
your
adults.
desktop, it's cool.
a preview without the intent of purchase, that's fine too.
right. All right, guys. Well, I'm your boy D'Anthony,
Adan.
See, Jack.
and we're Break Room Bliss, baby.
Booyah.
Oh, like, share, subscribe, and comment. I want to hear what y'all have to say.
Yeah.
Was he a good dad? Life lesson, something you can relate to? Was it too much? Let us know, guys.
Would you like your daddy to be? I want my daddy to be like that.
All right, guys. We're out. Peace.
Peace.